Hey guys, my name is Cindy and welcome to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an incoming second-year radiography student at McMaster University here in Ontario, and I mainly post about my academic journey in the medical radiation sciences program on my Instagram account, mrsseal. Due to the nature of my program and the fact that schools are starting to offer more hybrid and in-person learning opportunities, I have quite a bit of courses this year which requires me to be on campus for, so I'll be moving to Hamilton very soon. That means I gotta pack my entire academic life onto this bad boy right here, since bringing my PC would just be too much work and quite frankly, I don't have the arm strength for it. In today's video, I'll be taking you guys along with me as I set up my laptop for the upcoming semester. This includes downloading any applications that I may need in order to attend classes, creating a general timetable for myself to quickly refer to, and just simply creating a convenient organization system for all of my schoolwork. This video is a collaboration with my friend Alexis Studies on YouTube, and in her video, she will be showing you guys how she's going to prepare for her first year of university, so definitely check that out in the description below. With all of that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Before I begin with setting up the contents within my laptop, I want to briefly talk about the physical aspects of the laptop itself. What I have in front of you is a 13.3-inch Lenovo ThinkPad X13. It uses an AMD Ryzen 5 Pro processor and integrated Radeon graphics. It also has 16GB of memory and a 512GB SSD, so in other words, this laptop is pretty good. For the price of $1,282, this beauty also comes with a trackpad, fingerprint scanner, backlit keyboard, and a webcam that you can cover whenever you want some extra privacy. As expensive as this purchase may seem at a glance, I definitely think that investing my money into a reliable, high-performance laptop would be a valuable asset towards my education. You don't need the latest iPad Pro or $200 worth of stationery in order to do well in school. However, having access to a computer is a must, considering how in this day and age, everything is slowly starting to shift onto a digital format, and that includes a lot of schoolwork as well. And with the specs that this laptop comes in, I know that this is going to last me throughout my entire undergrad, and since I got this laptop around a month ago, I haven't really done much to it other than downloading a couple apps and signing into my accounts, so you guys will be setting this up with me today. First, we'll start with folders, drives, and document organization. Whenever I get a new device, the first thing I do is to set up some folders so that every single document that comes onto my computer will have a place to go home. For this upcoming semester, I'm creating a giant folder called Fall 2021, and within it, I'm also going to create 5 separate folders for each of my courses. Although I do most of my schoolwork online, I like having these folders within my hard drive to keep all of my course-specific textbook, outlines, slides, or just anything I may want to reference back on in the future, all on my computer. I'm also repeating the same process on my personal Google Drive, just creating folders of my individual courses this semester. Since I like to write most of my lecture notes and summary sheets on Google Docs, I will also create separate folders for those notes as well. And this just makes it easier for me to navigate through my files on the drive and to share my notes with other classmates in case they ever need them. Now that I got all my folders set up, let's start filling them up with some documents and organize them even further. A while ago, I actually set up a small Discord server for myself just to keep track of any useful links before I finish setting up an organization system for this upcoming year. In this channel, I just posted the links to my course outlines, and I'm just downloading them onto my computer right now and putting them in each of their respective folders. Since school hasn't actually started, I didn't really purchase any textbooks yet since I don't know for sure if I will really use them in class, but I do have the PDFs of one of the textbooks for my classes, and it's already downloaded onto my computer. I also like to keep a copy of each textbook onto this USB drive here in case it accidentally gets deleted off my computer, or if I'm back home for the weekend and I need to do a bit of schoolwork, I don't need to bring my entire laptop with me just to access a file or two. If my textbook can only be accessed through the publisher's website, which is quite common nowadays, I would record all of my account information into this little book here, which just contains all of the information I need in order to log into every account that I own. I'm a pretty forgetful person, and once you start post-secondary school, you realize that there are just way too many things to set up, so keeping track of all your information will save you a lot of trouble in the future and avoid those awkward phone calls with tired customer service agents. I feel like simply downloading all these course outlines is a pretty useless task in itself, only because opening up the file is no different than clicking on the link that I already set up in my server. So just to make myself feel better about going through this extra stuff and wasting space on my computer, I'm going to upload each course outline onto my Notion page for quick viewing and access. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with my setup in this video, but this is basically where I'm going to be keeping all of my schoolwork this semester. I created a page for each of my courses, and I have designated a spot within each page that allows me to upload and preview my course outlines. I will also update the course information section, which includes the contact information of my instructors and the weightings of my evaluations in case I need to quickly access that information. If you would like to see a detailed tour of my Notion, I will link a post of that in the description below, so check that out once this video is up. Even though my current setup is mostly complete, I'm still missing a giant portion at the bottom here, which is a general timetable. So right now, I'm creating a Word document to do this because if I'm being honest here, I find Excel just a bit too annoying to work with when it comes to making a timetable, and also the tables in Word are just aesthetically prettier. I'm creating a 6x21 table, and I'm just going to be adding in the times on the left column here and the days of the week on the top row. Using my official school timetable as a reference, I'm going to merge some boxes during the times I would have a class or a lab and type in the course code and location so I know, okay, during this time of day I can stay at home, or oh no, during this time of day I actually have to get up, do some preparation, and then walk over to campus. I also make sure to leave some space for any weekly meetings or scheduled lunch dates and activities with my friends. And I'm just adding in some color just to spice it up a bit, and also so that when I look at the schedule upon a glance, I know that I can correspond this color that I see with this task that I have to do. Now that my timetable is mostly complete, I'm just quickly taking a screenshot of the timetable and pasting it at the bottom of my Notion page. And yeah, my laptop is pretty much ready for school at the moment. So the thing about my timetable is because school hasn't actually started yet, I don't really know how much time I'm going to allocate to studying for each course every week, so that's why I have a bunch of blank space on this timetable at the moment. However, once I figured out how I want to study for each course, I'm going to start filling up these empty spaces with study times, and hopefully I will be able to follow that schedule throughout the rest of the semester. For this final step here, I actually did it the day my laptop arrived in the mail, which is why I'm not going to show you guys what I did, but to be honest, it would have been really boring footage anyways. So I'm just going to be talking about some of the applications I installed and briefly go over how I use them for school. Chances are, if you're a student, your institution or school board probably provides you guys with free access to Microsoft Office, which is basically just a bundle of different Microsoft apps such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and more. So definitely take advantage of this because as great as Google Docs and Sheets can be when it comes to collaborative work, they don't have as many features compared to their Microsoft counterparts. With that being said, I only have OneNote, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint installed because those are the 4 applications I use the most from the Office bundle for school purposes. I use Word for writing my academic papers, lab reports, and homework that I will eventually submit because it's much easier to format the headers, footers, and all that picky stuff when it comes to proper referencing and citations. Similarly, I use Excel for my homework as well, and most of the time my homework will already come as a Word or Excel file, so having those 2 applications installed is helpful for accessing my work in the first place, and it saves me the trouble of having to convert or upload them onto my Google Drive instead. I don't really use OneNote that often for my notes, but sometimes towards the end of the semester when I do get super lazy with watching my lectures, I can just easily upload the lecture slides onto OneNote and just annotate on top of them from my computer, and it just saves a lot of time and energy for those diagram heavy lectures such as anatomy. If the lecture has a lot of moving visuals to accompany the content, for example like my medical imaging physics course last year, I would actually view the slides directly on PowerPoint themselves during the lecture and type my notes explaining each visual in the notes section, which is underneath each slide. As I mentioned before, I use Notion for basically all of my notes, planning, and schoolwork because I can easily customize it to my needs and organize all my files and notes into one space. Although I can access my Notion workspace through the internet, I installed the app just so I can minimize the amount of open tabs on my webpage, since during a busy school night it could be a bit overwhelming to deal with, and I just wanted to minimize the amount of stuff I have to look after. And finally, the last application I installed, which has saved me and some of my other classmates so much last semester, is OBS Studio. So OBS Studio is actually used a lot by Twitch streamers, but I use it to record live classes or group meetings if I know that there's going to be a lot of information being presented that day. And this important information that's being presented, it could be something along the lines of homework answers, examples for test prep, referencing the content you learn in class back to some real life examples, which isn't really included in some of the materials or resources that they provide you. It's just for recording all of that important information that you might not be able to find in some of your course content that is provided to you by your teachers. Obviously, this is for my own private viewing, and I cropped the video to focus on the shared screen only. But if I'm recording a meeting, I would usually let my group members know beforehand, because otherwise it would be pretty creepy without their consent if I was to record them, and also locally illegal. So yeah, there's a lot to keep in mind, but overall it has been a very valuable application for me last year. Anyways, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much. As I mentioned before, this video is a collaboration with Alexis Studies on YouTube, and her video will be linked in the description below, so please check that out. If you're interested in seeing more about my life as a radiography student at McMaster, feel free to check out my Instagram at mrsseal, which will also be linked down below. I hope that you guys have an amazing start to your upcoming school year, and I'll see you guys in the next video or post. Bye!